In this video, I'm going to show you how to run code online. I have found this website called Coding Ground, where you can try a lot of languages. You can see a long list here. They have, for example, Ruby, Python, and many others. Let's try, for example, Python. When you open a language, you can see here the code on the left and the output on the right side. You can click on the execute button and see the output on the right side. This /n character is not needed, so I will remove it. I will change the message and write another print statement and execute it. And you can see the output here. It's quite fast. Let's go back and choose another language, for example, Ruby. You can see the same layout with the code on the left and the output on the right side. The semicolon is not needed in Ruby, so I'm removing it. I am writing two statements like in Python. Click execute and I will see the output on the right side. Let's try now another language, for example, JavaScript. You can find it in the list below or search for it using Command F in Mac or Control F in Windows. In JavaScript, you can see that they have prepared a HTML file, but the important part in JavaScript is this script part. So I will remove the other lines so it's less distracting. And I can actually also simplify this example because they have written a function and then a function call. But you can directly remove the function and the function call and just write the statements, the document write. I execute it and I can see the output here. They are not using the console log statement. Why not? Because the output of the console log is not visible in the page itself, but in the console, as you can see here below. You may want to use the document write function because it displays the output on the page and it's easier to use. So I will write another statement. The only thing that you have to bear in mind is that if you write several statements, you will see that the output is displayed in the same line. So you actually need a special tag called BR, which stands for break. And this will display like a new line after every statement, every message. So you can see them in different lines. Let's go back to the list of languages and let's choose now Java. Let's search for Java. The problem here is that the Java coding ground in this web page is quite slow. As you can see, I'm executing the code and it takes a bit until I can see the output. Okay, so I looked for another online editor. There are quite a lot, so I searched for Java Online and I liked this one, this JDoodle web page, because it's quite fast. Maybe it's not so nice, but you can see the output here quite fast. I will try to write, for example, hello and bye to print the statements. I can remove the statements here above because they are not needed now. And you can see here that the output is quite fast. So you may want to use that for Java. For Kotlin, they also have Kotlin in this coding ground, but you have the official web page, which is kotlinlang.org. And if you click here in play, you have a coding ground, which is the official coding ground of Kotlin. You can run it and it's quite fast and nice. So it's recommended to use this one for Kotlin. I will try to write 2 lines, run it, and you can see the output here below. Let's go back to the JavaScript example because I want to add something. I will show you that you can run this example in your computer too. You need an HTML file, which I have in my computer. I actually have an HTML file and a JavaScript file separated. I will open them in a code editor. I have Visual Studio Code, but there is also Atom, Sublime, and others. So I will drag and drop these two files to my code editor. My HTML file is displaying a message and loading a JavaScript file that displays a message on the console. To open the HTML file, you just have to drag and drop the HTML file to the browser. I open a tab and drag and drop the HTML file. You can see here the message in the HTML file, but the message in the JavaScript file, which is printed with console log, is displayed in the console, which is here below. But you can decide to use the document write that you saw before, so this message will be displayed here in the page, only in the same line. But we can fix that using the tag br here, for example. And I refresh, and you can see now the messages in different lines. You can also forget about the JS file and write everything in the HTML file, as in the example in the coding ground. So for example, I will copy this code to my HTML file. I paste the code here, I save the file and refresh the page in the browser. You can see the message, hello coding ground, and no message in the console because I'm not using console log anymore, just document write. I will add another call to document write and change the messages, hello and bye. But as you remember, the messages will be displayed in the same line, so you need to write this br tag to display them in different lines. You can also simplify this example. You can just remove everything but the script block, and you can also, if you want, remove the function definition and the call and just write the document write statements on their own, and this will work anyway. As you can see, I save the file with changes. You can see the output here.